All right, welcome back into another episode of Indiebnb. Today I'm joined by Leanne from the band Freezing Cold. Leanne, how are we doing today?
It is a beautiful day in New York City after being absolutely miserable, like miserably hot for so long. So I'm doing great because that is such a nice respite. Yeah.
Ooh, I love that. We're in the city, y'all whereabouts?
So actually, Angie, our drummer, and I live basically around the corner from each other in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. And then Jeff, our other guy, our signature man, lives off in City Island in the Bronx, which is a really cool little corner of the city if people don't know about it, but it's really nice.
Okay, so basically he lives in Yankee Stadium. That's what I'm hearing. If
Yeah,
I hear
that's
the
what you get.
Bronx,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, my limited New York knowledge. We're down the south, of course. I visit every now and then, but I know like three places. The
That's
three
how I
places that
feel
my buddy
about
lived.
That's how I feel about Atlanta. So it's the feeling is mutual.
I love it. I love it. Well, very cool. Well, like, I mean, how did this whole thing get started? I mean, do we meet all around in New York City? Did the city bring you guys together, or was it something else?
Yeah, so actually Jeff and Angie both grew up on Long Island. So they met when they were like 14 years, actually probably younger than that. I'm going to say between like probably like 13-ish. They both played in bands in Long Island. On oh my god, I'm gonna get roasted for this. On Long Island. As you can tell, I am the non-native New Yorker of the group. So I moved to New York in, oh god, was it 2012, I guess? And yeah, I met them through music here. Um, Freezing Cold as an entity was a group for maybe 2, 3 years before I eventually joined, which was in
Hmm.
2019. And yeah, it just was like they needed a bass player, or we had played together with my other old band that doesn't exist anymore. Um, and that's just kind of like how I got into the fold. But I think the actual formation was, as the story goes. Jeff was moving back from Philadelphia after living there for a little while. As again, like a lifelong musician, he was looking for a place to store gear because apartments here are not very large. But also, like connect with an old friend to play music with again. And so I think just through jamming, be like, hey, this could actually be really cool as a real project. Yeah, so that was kind of the low key inception. It's not like, I don't know, it's not like star-crossed fate band. It's just like people who have known each other for a long time, and then little me comes along.
I love it. I love it. So, whenever you joined, like, did you feel like, hey, I'm going to put my spin in here and kind of put myself in the mixer? Had the sound been developed, or were we still developing the sound when you came in? And like, what was that kind of like? Just getting in
Sure.
sonically.
Yeah, so like I think it was a mix of both. So me like knowing also that like again my bandmates are very accomplished musicians. I at first was like a little bit intimidated to be honest, being like, wow, they're like pros, dude, and I'm just me. But Angie especially was really amazing about being like, no, like we wanted you to be in the band for a reason. I played guitar and sang in my old band, and was very like pedal obsessed.
Hmm.
Like it was play like a Mexican Jag with like a fully built out like pedal board. And I would not consider myself a gearhead for sure. But I was very meticulous about pulling that kind of sound together of like getting the right crunchiness when you want that, and then I don't know, like any kind of like reverb chord, I don't know, the whole shebang was really represented on my pedal board at the time. And I think I still remember having conversations with Angie super early on being like, I was just so amazed that I would be like dancing around almost on the stage trying to like hit the right sound at the right time. So like I think there was an element of that ish, not exactly because again, it's not a one to one guitar and bass. But like they're, I guess the point is that like they did want to experiment with like the sound a little bit. So
Hmm.
while yes, I think like there's a baseline sound that I joined also because I was like, what a good band. Like I really like the songs that they write. And I don't think I would have if I was like, wow, these songs are dog shit. Um, so there's definitely none of that. Yeah, I think it's just like nailing down what the sound is for this iteration. And I think it took me a minute to feel uh more confident in that mix, but like it definitely like I landed there.
Yeah.
And they're both just like very lovely open people. Like there was never any uh weird dynamics in that way. Like they really encouraged me to, like be one third of the band in earnest. So even just writing this record was very representative of that experience. Like we were all like while we all have roles to play, obviously, it was overall a very highly collaborative experience.
Very cool. With like, I know the first record came out in 2019 when you joined, so like I'm sure a lot of that was probably written, pre Leanne, and now
Yeah.
this record more. You do you feel like you were more in the fold, probably more in the fold for Treasure Pool coming out August 1st, right? Like,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's like very much the three of us as a unit. And even the
hmm
little like EP that we put out in oh god, was it 2020, 2021? I don't know, kind of like the dead of lockdown. I think that was our first kind of like experiment of learning how to write songs together. And then from that, like we felt good about, where that landed and how we worked together even in the studio and some of the ideas that came out of that writing this stretch of songs felt more of like, all right, like we kind of got this figured out a little bit better. Like we know
yeah,
how this is gonna go. So yeah, well, I didn't play on Glimmer, the album before this one. Yeah, this one is again just like us as a trio, um, writing it
I
together.
love it. I love it. I love it. Well, on this record, I got to spend some time listening to it a little bit, but want to spotlight one of the songs that's already out, Backlight. We always like to kind of take this as from a nothing to something kind of mentality. So, how did this become nothing to something?
Sure. So that song in particular actually was the last song that we wrote for this
Oh,
album, believe it or not. We had mostly filled out like so we also recorded this in batches. So it wasn't the last song we recorded, but we definitely knew that we had X amount of songs and we're feeling like pretty good about the batch. But I was the one who was actually like, guys, I don't think we have like an opener. Like we need like an opening track. Like what's this going to be? And the way that the process in general, this is very loosely speaking because like every song is a little bit different. Um, but like Jeff just generously comes in as like, hey, I have this riff, or like this kind of like these two little parts that go together. Like, what do you think? And he very much gives carte blanche to be like, Angie and I, like, thumbs up, thumbs down, like, do you like it or not? And sometimes we're like, I don't know about that.
hmm
So again, very open, collaborative experience. Um, but yeah, that it purely started from a guitar riff, pretty classic way to go about it. Um, and then yeah, just built it from there, like working on it in our practice space, and even thinking about it too. It being the last song, it probably came together the most quickly, which is always a weird feeling to be like, is this the song? Like that's it? like we wrote that in a handful of practices instead of agonizing over it for like 2 months or longer. So yeah, I think that one just like clicked, and I think also we were looking for that like really hooky opening again, like opening track to be like, what is going to set Treasure Pool up for the rest of the experience. Um, yeah.
Now, like, are you a part of lyrics and a part of like the, kind of that process as well? Or is that, is that Angie? Is that Jeff? Who's responsible there?
Yeah, so the main lyric writer is Jeff. But again, he is very like, if I can do better at something, like, please tell me, and I will do that. um, so that's again like very open, collaborative. Even that where it's sort of like, yeah, the responsibility falls upon one person. I
Hmm.
personally, I think I would get a little stressed out and not have that much fun if it was like a lyric writing by committee.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, knowing that like there is a little bit of like, well, maybe you can like rephrase this a little bit better. And it's really vulnerable, honestly, on his part to kind of
Hmm.
open it to that because again, thinking about like other projects, I would be like, do not tell me if my words are bad because it can be a really stressful experience to open it up to that kind of feedback. But
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, I mean, as you guys have done some practicing for the tour, like what are some of the songs off the album that you're really excited to play live? Like what's something that's like your top hit on the set list? What's
sure, I
Leanne's
mean,
number one?
staying on backlight, I do have a lot of fun playing it. It's now like at the very end of our set list. Like we've messed with this formula a lot, and especially because like there are guitar changes. Jeff plays with two guitars and a couple tunings, and we've tried to be more and more meticulous about leaving open, empty space. Which, like, of course, there's always room for that. Like, we don't want to say nothing because we're none of us are those kinds of people. I think we like addressing the room.
Okay.
Um, but but yeah, so we've tried to build out like, okay, what's like number one, the flow, like what feels good, what feels natural, but where can we also work in like natural transitions as well, so that there isn't just a bunch of silence or like somebody has to make like a really bad joke in the heat of the moment while like nothing is happening. um so
Well,
this is
what's the
actually
go-to joke? I mean, if we got to do
oh
that, like what are we going with?
I do not have a go-to joke. It's always bad. No, I shouldn't say that. That's completely just the self-criticism element of like in the moment you're just like, why did I say anything? I shouldn't have said anything. That was horrible. Which I'm sure is completely again like self-perceived. Like nobody's
Yeah.
ever like, wow, that was really cringe. Why'd you do that? But this is the first time that actually we're working in like computery elements into a set to
Oh,
kind of
okay.
like have some of those not forced transitions but like special noise. So like on the album we're playing the song Golden, and then there's like a trend like an instrumental bit right after that that got its own little dedicated track. So we're using that as like a little bit in between, which will be maybe a little scary, but also fun because we've been practicing it and it sounds really cool, especially to have some of the keyboard elements in Golden. Since we are a three-piece, we don't have like a huge van. We're driving around in Jeff's RAV4. Uh, so we can't, unfortunately, in this iteration, bring a whole bunch of other people with us to like play keyboard or another guitar player, as much as that would be awesome to have because
Yeah.
like we do in the studio do like layering on those kinds of elements, or we did for this album at least. We've had conversations about like what do we want to do in the future, but for this specifically, I think we were like, ooh, what can we do here to add a little sparkle or like make the song more interesting, essentially.
I mean,
Um,
we're gonna get you on the hot feet with the pedals at some point, like get you
oh,
clicking
I
around. I
do.
mean,
You know what? I have one bass distortion pedal, which was actually it was a birthday gift from my bandmates after I talked about it for a while, and I thought that was really sweet. So probably not, unfortunately. Even the computer stuff is going to be like Angie's little setup in the back because it also matters too when it comes to a click track. Um, But yeah, it's funny to be like, oh my God, that's so stressful when it's like so many other like bands and artists do it and like it's completely normal. But for
Yeah.
us all being so, like you get what you can play in the moment that, yeah, it's new for sure. But yeah, in terms of like what we are playing on the tour, it's pretty much the entire album, minus the very last song because it is frankly too much of a hassle to try and swap out like a saxophone and a bass and a clarinet
Yeah.
and all that in the middle of a live show. So everything else is represented, plus one of the songs that came off that EP that was right before this.
All right, so we're getting a full only 2020s versions of Freezing Cold. So no
Yeah, yeah,
2019
yeah.
glimmers. If people are shouting at the show for some 2019 songs, are you guys going to shut them down pretty easily, or what are we
Say
talking about there?
I'm so sorry. Like if you want to like rush the stage and shout encore or something, we will look at you sweetly and not play the songs probably.
I love that. I love that. Hey, stick to what is on the title card. Let's go. I mean,
Right?
it's on there. Hey, you worked hard
Exactly.
and you worked hard. You put the show together and it's perfect. Like I was at a show and an artist came out and they're like, he's from here in Atlanta, and so he was like, literally, we put the show together. Like it's perfect. I already played it. I'm
Right.
only doing this because you guys are here and you guys are you, not because. And again, like those moments, yeah, you remember 'em, but like I remember the show being from top front to back, being like as tight as I've ever seen him,
Like
and like it's
flawless, yeah.
awesome. And then he came out and played, one thing that just him on the guitar though, so it was a little bit different.
Yeah,
But you
I
know,
I really admire bands that do that, especially something in like a back catalog that you're like, oh no, do I know this song? Like, let's see
yeah,
how this one goes. I feel like I've seen bands literally say that in their set, and it usually turns out great. And
yeah.
it's like I would have never known that you messed up, which
You
is
guys
also
didn't have to
great.
say anything.
Exactly. Exactly. Which makes me then
Yeah,
be like, oh man, anytime that I've messed up, like definitely no one notices except for me, unless it's like really glaring.
yeah.
But who knows? Who knows?
I
No
love
one's
it.
gonna
That's
come
the
up to me and tell me that I messed up after the fact.
We have a long joke, running joke with one of our bands that we are here in Atlanta. Like their bassist hasn't missed a note, and so I go up to him like, "All right, are we going on like 1,600 straight minutes of you never missing a note?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, we're just keep going, dude. That's all I gotta do." I'm
Wow.
like,
I
hey,
feel
the
like
pressure's on.
that kind of streak is like you. I don't know if you're like a stupid little word game player, but like for me, like a connection streak or something like that. Like there's a little bit of pressure when you're in like the teens realm of like, oh my god, if I mess this up, like I'm gonna have to restart from zero. But once you pass like 30, then it's like, who cares, man? I'm cruising.
It's awesome. Well, you guys are touring. It looks like in the time you guys are going, it seems like Northeast down to Virginia a little bit. So like,
Yeah.
are those kind of strategically placed places you guys have played already? Is it some places that, maybe a couple that are new to you guys? Like, what are you excited for there?
Yeah, so it definitely is a bit of strategy and also just like natural limitations of what we're working with in terms of like again RAV4 and also life. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, like I don't know. No, it's honestly it's not unfortunately because we love the Northeast. I love the Northeast. But it is sort of like a mix of places that we've been to before, and there are people who we can call on to help out and be extremely generous with their time and effort and labor into doing all of that. And then a few places that, at least in since I've joined the band, I've not gone to. So like Providence, um, Virginia, like you mentioned. Actually, Baltimore also is a fun one, especially because we were going to play Baltimore. Well, a whole other like little tour, pretty much like this was 2020, like March 2020, right?
Yeah.
Like this is going to be like my intro of like, wow, we're doing it, we're going out together, this is it. And then like COVID literally shut down all of the shows that we were going to play. So like everything about what we were doing was put on hold. So like now with an actual album out feels very cathartic and also joyful to be like, holy shit, like we finally get to go and do it with like all of this whole like all of these new songs that we've written together. Not that we haven't like played outside of New York, but it definitely feels more momentous, I
Yeah.
guess, to have all of that. Yeah. And then, I mean, like, classic, but like, for bands in New York, I feel like going and play Philly is always like such a nice thing because like people still care about music in a way that like sometimes it
Hmm.
feels like in New York isn't the case, which is really sad because mostly because there used to be so many small independent venues all like just dotted all around the city, and one by one since I don't know, probably like 2017 even, they've just been kind of like closing one by one and then all in mass, and now it just feels like wildly competitive in a way that is like, man, this isn't what music's about. But when you go to Philly, it's like those kinds of places still exist and everyone's so excited to see bands.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm coming up for a weekend, and like I looked at bands in town, and like that's kind of the way I consume, which is not
Yeah.
right, wrong, or indifferent, right? I don't know, but like you, there wasn't as much as I thought there would be. Like I'm like,
Right.
hey, I've got like a Friday night and a Saturday. I have a Saturday night. Like I'm like, all right, this is like the one day I could go do something. I'm like, wow, there's somebody playing that is playing here 2 weeks later, and then there's
Right.
somebody like, but it seems like it's like a not as there were not a lot of independent like indie kind of feeling like places to go, even in just the Brooklyn or greater Manhattan area. Like it seems like
Exactly.
it's a void.
It's tougher. I mean, they definitely exist, but it's definitely tougher. I would also encourage you to look at Oh My Rockness. That's a really, really good resource for shows in general. It's got everything, which might be a little more encouraging for you to look at and be like, wow, there actually are things happening in New York City, a place where things allegedly happen regularly.
Yeah, I've only been to like one or two venues. I've been to Webster Hall, and then I've been to it was a place that had a subway track next to it. I saw dry cleaning there. I cannot remember where it was, but it was in Brooklyn
Ooh,
somewhere.
was it Market Hotel? That sounds like Market
Yes, that's right.
Hotel.
That's where it was. That's exactly
The
where it was. Then we,
famous. I don't know if these types of memes reach the internet in Atlanta, but that's the famous Myrtle Broadway corner with the Checkers and Popeyes for any listeners who know this meme of like the sacred place.
that's why we went to a bar across the street after, got a drink, and we were like went to the back, and like there's people in the back like in the bar eating Popeyes, and I'm like, what the
Uh
fuck are these
huh.
people eating Popeyes? It's like he goes, I don't know. I mean, I probably don't serve food here or whatever. And then like then we ended up going down the street to a place that had like a pina colada. I got a pina colada at like 1:30 in the morning, which was
There you
exactly what you
go.
needed. It was
Exactly.
something else.
Well,
But
now you're definitely gonna see these memes now that I've brought it up. I also
yeah.
loved Webster Hall. I haven't been back since it's renovated. It's been renovated,
Hmm.
which I should. But the old one, I was one of my favorite like mid to large tier venues for sure to
Yeah.
see bands.
It
Great
was pretty
place.
it was massive, and different. I saw Highly Suspect there, so it was like kind of a hometown show for them, and it was like I was like, man, I'm gonna stand kind of in the back ish area
Yeah.
because I'm tall and not piss anybody off, and just because I was there by myself, so I was like, I'm not trying to. I was watching people try to walk past people, and like in Atlanta, like you just like kind of let people through because you don't know. But there, they were like, "Fuck you! You're not getting
Yeah.
through shit." Like,
Either you gotta like really like you gotta have the confidence if you want to walk
yeah,
through the crowds in NYC,
yeah,
which uh, Angie and I went and saw Turnstile when they played
sure.
here um, recently, which was amazing. And it was under this basically like a bridge highway. So like the setting was like beautiful. It was sick. but very, very crowded, like 6,000 people. And we have a friend who is just like, I've never seen such like laser focus of like, grab my hands. We're running through the crowd to get to the like edge of the pit, and that's it. It's just like you can't care. You just go. So if you're ever feeling ambitious enough when you go to a show like that, that's all you need, just a good attitude.
I'm gonna get painted in a bad way if I do that. I can see it. I can see it working for other people. I just think that my frame would
Too
beget me to
tall,
be. I'll be
two man. Yeah, I get
asshole.
it.
It's just so
Fair
I
enough. Well, that's
I
very considerate of you.
I try, and I like it, but it just I like being in the front, but I also like I can still I'm gonna be able to hear it in the back, and
Yeah,
what, do I want to get sweat on? I don't know. Like we get
true. That's another good point of like, do I want to be touched?
yeah. How much do I
In
want to be touched tonight,
yeah,
and where we're at? So, all right, well, good. Well, let's obviously want to understand a little bit more about the touring. Obviously, because you're going in the Northeast. What's one place that like if you could draw it up on anything like where you'd want to play, like anywhere in particular that you've got your eye on?
oh, I mean, like, I feel like it's all over. I feel like it's hard to pick one specific locale in particular. I mean, like, honestly, anywhere that's not the United States sounds
Hmm.
super fun. Like, uh, Europe, UK, Asia tour sounds just like an expensive and fun
Yeah.
jaunt across the pond. But also, more realistically speaking, like, I don't know, just getting out to the West Coast because we haven't done that together. And that is
Hmm.
definitely a less daunting proposition to go and do that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's really just like breaking out and playing elsewhere for more people
Sure.
here, which is accessible and more or less drivable if you
Yeah.
tell yourself that it is, with the country being as big as it is. Um, yeah, honestly, anywhere sounds good to me. I know I just did a lot of caveating, but it is true. It's really just like I can frame any region as like, wow, that sounds amazing in my head right now as I'm going through this
Yeah.
exercise.
Okay. So I think Europe was your first place. So, anywhere
Sure,
you've
sure,
been
sure, sure, sure. Let's
anywhere
go with that
everywhere
one.
you've been in Europe that you're like, man, like it'd be sick to play a show here.
Mm, well, I've never been to Austria. I don't know why I
Hmm.
picked there. It just seems really beautiful and like you can drink small beers or something. I haven't been to France since I was like 17, so that would be fun to see how the French respond to rock music in 2025. Uh, I also actually I love Portugal. That's so nice. It would be amazing to play there. I mean, yeah, I'm just like naming countries and I like the big countries in Europe now, which is not, like
Yeah.
not very clever, but yeah.
I love it. I mean, I think like you guys got to
And
get the
especially to play with like local local acts.
yeah, having somebody open that's like, they're local and you can kind of get exposed to something new. I think that's always a good positive.
Yeah, that and just like meet people who are like sick. Like we're all vibing on the same kind of thing despite
Hmm.
living across like in different continents. I think that's the universality of the human experience in that way is very interesting and fun.
I love it. I love it. Well, we're going to get to something pretty interesting and fun here.
Oh, great.
Pete Peterson's party pack of questions. It's going to be
Let's
20 questions
go.
right in a row. Leanne, are you ready?
Sorry, I had to take a sip of seltzer water. But yes, now I'm prepared. I'm so ready.
This is sponsored by Polar Pop.
Yeah,
Leanne loves Polar Pop. Here we go.
it's just polar. It's just polar. Just gotta
It's just
clarify.
Polar. Oh, sorry.
Just polar, yeah.
All right, here we go. Pete Peterson's party pack of questions: cake or pie? Let's kick it off here.
It's gotta be pie.
She's pieing it up. All right, salad or soup?
Ideally both, a little half and half, but soup.
Okay. All right. She loves the Olive Garden soup. Let's go. All right. Sunrise or sunset? What are you seeing more of these days?
For sure, sunset. I am not a morning person.
Okay. All right. Would you rather hit a home run or score a touchdown?
Home run for sure.
All right.
So
So let's
much
see.
more rare.
I love it. I love it. Are you having more nights in or nights out these days?
Nights in because I like movies and video games.
All right. All right. We'll get there. When you do go out, are you more likely to hit the robot or the worm on the dance floor?
I don't want to touch the floor, so the robot.
All right. Good. Guac or queso at your favorite Tex-Mex spot?
Guac, hands down.
All right. Just walking around. All right. Waffles or pancakes?
Easily waffles. Texture. It's a texture thing.
Okay. Coffee or tea with your waffles?
Coffee, obviously. People who
All
don't
right.
drink coffee, I'm sorry, but like, get a life.
Ooh, I will go get a life then. All right.
Ooh,
Dogs or
well, it
cats? Dogs or cats?
burned. Both, but I own cats, so I'll say cats.
All right. Are you more like a ninja or a pirate?
In my mind, I would like to say ninja, but I'm also an annoying, obnoxious Sagittarius, so probably a pirate, to be honest. I
All
gotta be
right.
honest with myself in this moment.
I love it. Honestly, honesty is the key in the Pete Peterson party pack of questions. All right. Gatorade or Powerade?
Gatorade for sure.
All right. Toast.
Gatorade Electrolyte Zero specifically.
Oh, okay. All right. We got a specific flavor you like?
The like watermelony one or the like grapey one.
Okay.
I
Watermelon.
don't know the names. Yeah.
Love it. All right. Toast or bagels with your Gatorade?
I feel like I have to say bagel, being in New York. I gotta say, it's definitely bagel anyway. What am I saying? It's bagel.
All right. Chips or pretzels?
Chips, dude. Oh my god, for sure.
All right. Fries or tots?
A bag that has both, ideally, again, but fries. I'm gonna go fries.
Fries with a surprise tot or two. It sounds like the,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
key. The
yeah.
key.
Sure.
The key.
Yeah.
All right. After a long night or a long day, you in line with a TV show or a movie?
Definitely depends on my mood. If I'm, let's say, I, th- I don't know why this one's so hard. I'm gonna say TV show. I'm gonna go TV.
Okay. Are aliens real?
I think it's more fun if they are, so
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Is
Same with
Bigfoot real?
ghosts. You know, for some reason, I don't know why, like, aliens, yeah, Bigfoot, I feel like, no. I don't have good logic here. I know that this is faulty and bad, but I know I don't really think that one's real.
Okay. That's all right. Is love at first sight real?
Sure. Again,
There we
it's
go.
more fun that way. Actually, I'm gonna revise Bigfoot. Now that I'm saying all these things about it's more fun if X is true. Bigfoot is real. Love at first sight is real. Sure.
All right. Cool. Give us two artists that we might not know that we ought to check
Ooh.
out.
Two is hard.
Or one.
Well, okay, my favorite band at the moment, and I feel like they're not that small these days, which is great for them because they deserve success and they're really good. But Wishy from Indianapolis,
Have heard of Wishy.
yeah, super good. I've seen them a couple of times now live. And yeah, they play exactly as you would hope. It rocks. They're so good. And then, oh my God, let's see. There's a New York band called Voyeur, that, they're like 20 somethings, and I mean this in the best, most complimentary way because okay, they're basically like cosplaying Sonic Youth, and Sonic Youth is my favorite band. Probably one of my favorite bands, I'll say that. And they just really they get it. They nail it. And they're really sick. So recommend them. And then I'm gonna do three so that I'm hitting each coast in the United States. There's another band that maybe I don't even think they're that small anymore, but they're called Julie from LA.
Julie.
Yeah, they put out an album last year, and it sounds like Swirlies again in like the best possible way. So I think these three from each from left, right, and center are all, all in there.
I love it. I love it. We don't often get a full coast to coast view.
Yeah.
So Leanne, thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for conquering the Pete Peterson party pack of questions. The final question to really invade your privacy. The last thing you searched on your Spotify and or Apple Music or wherever you find your tunes. What was
Honestly,
the last
probably
thing you
Freezing
searched?
Cold, which is really embarrassing.
Other than
Let me
your
see.
band.
I'm gonna look right now. Um, a song by Nina Ricci, who I also will plug because she's like, is she Australian? Maybe I think she's like an Aussie like DJ producer and makes like really interesting maximalist like house music, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, my tastes are generally all over the place. I'll put that in as the pin. But yeah, that is the song Wayside by Nita G. Ricci. It fucking slaps, dude. It's really good.
All right. We'll have to check it out. Well, my last one was a band called The Bends. They are from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They sound
Nice.
similar to, shockingly similar to Kings of Leon, but they have other tunes. They're pretty good. So The
Fun.
Bends.
Now that is for me to look up.
There you go. There you go. Well, I didn't want you to be alone in your your exposure. It's a personal thing what you're searching on there. So
It definitely can be. I don't know. Well, I thought you were gonna ask like, what's your last Google search? And I'd be like, dude, oh God, like probably something painfully stupid, like more stupid than you could possibly think of.
how to open cans. There we go. Use
Something
can
like,
opener.
yeah, but like with like really unnatural grammar, like no
Yeah.
actual like natural language searching of exactly like you said, like how
Yeah.
can open why kind of thing.
Love it. I love it. Well, Leanne, this has been fun. Thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, Freezing Cold. Check them out if they're in your area. Go on. Oh My Rockness and search them up. Get them rolling.
That's
Go on
right.
Bands in Town. They're touring
Or
up there in the
also,
Northeast.
if you want us to come to a place, like tell us, and we are very good listeners, and we'll do our best to make it there.
I love it. I love it. Well, we expect you down here in Atlanta, of course. So when
Thank
that
you so
happens,
much,
please let us
Grant.
know. Please let us know.
Yes,
We'll be happy to
absolutely, we
have
would
you.
love to.
But again, August 1st, this Friday, we will be blessed with Treasure Pool. Everyone go check it out. Listen to it from front to back. That's how albums are supposed to be.
That is how
So
they're supposed to
stream
be.
it. Stream it up.
Wise statement. Thank you so much,
Love it.
Grant. It's been
Of
fun.
course. Take care. Thank you.